It is an honor to interview Professor Joachim Frank, Nobel Laureate for the development of cryo-electron microscopy on the occasion of the conference of the National Academy of Scientist Education. Professor Frank, what first sparked your curiosity in science? Was there a moment in your youth when you knew this was the path you would like to follow?
I don't know, it might have been as early as an 8-year-old because I did experiments under the veranda of my parents' house with bottles and all kinds of fluids and, little explosions. And so it was some natural curiosity that unfolded itself there. And then later on, I took radios apart and put them back together, this kind of thing. And then I always was fascinated with physics in high school. We had a very motivational teacher, so I really got completely involved in physics right early on.
The teacher had influence on you?
Very
because
much,
first you
very
started
much
with
so,
chemistry.
yes.
You started with chemistry and then switched
in
to
physics. I was never a chemist.
yeah, but as a
I
8-year
only wound up a chemist through the algorithms of the Nobel Foundation.
I know, but as an 8-year-old young child, you started with chemical experiments.
That's, yeah. Well, some of them were really physics. I heated up coal and found out that a gas comes out and the gas was flammable, and I could really prove it. Yeah.
Okay, if you were a student today, just starting out in science, what would you focus on learning or exploring first?
I don't know, I would do it exactly the same way. It was really all things happened by accident. I got into the Studienstiftung, the started Focus very early on, and that brought me in contact with students in completely different fields. And so I was immersed in interdisciplinary research, and this really offered opportunities to think and develop concepts. Yeah.
What advice would you give to a student who is passionate about science but is unsure whether they are good enough to pursue it?
Well, it's. I think this is probably how everybody feels right at the beginning, because the science is presented to you in textbooks, and it looks like it's all set in stone, and you have to get a sense that the progress of science is still going on. You have to get a sense of what is really happening, and that's the most important thing, to get a step into the original research and read original papers and not textbooks. Textbooks are always behind. They're 2 steps behind.
Yeah, that's right. Your work helped to visualize the building blocks of life at an atomic level. Did you expect that your work will have such a big influence on medicine and biology when you started?
No, not at all. I really developed this method because I thought the existing methods were inadequate and they were not promising enough for many molecules. So I thought, why not try to get structure from single molecules? And that at the time was a very heretic idea, and I was persistent, but I did not think a moment that we would ever get to atomic resolution. I thought maybe it would be helpful in order to look at molecules in their natural conformations, but I never thought we would get to the resolution that is needed in order to develop drugs or have an influence on molecular medicine. Yeah, that was completely outside of my dreams.
In the last days, you visited a conference of the National Academy of Sciences Education. What were your impressions about this event?
About the events here?
Yeah.
Well, I became very passionate about early science education, especially after I got the Nobel Award, and thought that there was a way of paying back to society. And I thought very early on, it should be as early on as possible, in particular because there's so much misconceptions now and alternate stories. So it's very important that very early on students get a sense. And I have had many opportunities to talk to people in high schools. I was involved in programs. The last one was in South Africa, where I talked to a very large body of students. But with all these different encounters, compared to what's happening here, this is really a full-bodied implementation of these ideas, which I've never seen in this kind of broad implementation. So this is a really fantastic model.
And why do you think these systems or these programs can be useful for the world?
Well, I think it really should be broad-based. It should be continuing. It should build up annually, and it should not be just a one-shot deal. Okay, so I've been more familiar with one-shot deals, a couple of days of encounters, and but here I see that this is a long-term commitment of this organization, and that it really has taken hold. It has expanded, has become, has gotten government support, and attracted attention from all the different teachers. So it's really fantastic to see this happen, and it could be a model at other places.
Did you have any meaningful interactions with students during this visit?
Yeah, and the most meaningful interactions were really question and answer sessions, and any opportunities that I had to be one-on-one with people. Yeah,
I think this has the most influence on a young kid. Okay, thank you for accepting our interview request, and I wish you all the best for your stay here in Hungary. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you very much for your interest. Yeah.